Good morning, everybody. It's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people and huge welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies today. I'd like to welcome all our spirit guides and those who come with them. Protect us with your light and guide us with your messages. So welcome to Meister's Guidance. For those that are new, because thank you to all my new subscribers and huge love to all my existing ones, especially those that have been here from the start. The idea behind these particular readings, and even though they're called Meister Guidance, it is my First Nations spiritual leader, Ngariin, who takes the lead on these particular readings. I just didn't know who he was when we started this process. So thank you to Ngariin and thank you to you for joining me. So the idea behind these is that each week the boys give me a message that is a not political message. It is a spiritual message that we perhaps need to hear at this particular time. The idea is to go through the readings, all the past readings, just scroll through, have a look if there is either an image or a title blurb that appeals to you or catches your attention, or you feel that you are compelled to have a look at. Click on that reading, and that is the reading that you need at this particular time in your life. Now, there are I believe 44 cards in my Namaste deck, which is what I use as my foundational card as I start the reading. And we often get the same cards regularly because they are the messages that we need to hear at this time. They are the lessons that we need to learn, and perhaps we're not learning them, or perhaps it's just someone needs this message reinforced for them. So I use my Namaste cards for my foundational reading, and then I'll draw some oracle cards from my Australian Wildflower cards, my Nature's Whispers cards, and my Cosmic Oracle cards, or my Cosmic Guidance cards, to expand on that initial reading, on that initial foundation message. So the message that Ngariin has for us today is this particular card. Again, it is a repeat reading. Haven't had it for a while though. And the message he has for us is: a current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside of you. A wound from long ago, perhaps even a past life. Look within. Find the part of you that is wounded and send it love. It will heal and you will be stronger and wiser for it. And what I really feel from this message, I'll just hold it up so if you want to pause and read it for yourself. What I always feel when I draw this card is that I'm a huge believer in that people come in and out of our lives for the time necessary for us to either teach them a lesson, they need to teach us a lesson, a soul lesson. I don't mean a teach you a lesson. It is a soul lesson, something that we need to learn at this particular time in our lives. And whether we have an interaction with them for 30 seconds at the supermarket checkout, or 30 years, or 80 years, however long, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever the length of time that they are meant to be in our lives for this exchange of a relationship to either heal a wound or grow us spiritually, that is the time of that they are meant to be in our lives. So it's very much about not hanging on to relationships that have gone the distance, but it's also about just being aware of why they are in our lives at this particular time. And as I said, it might be the brief, it might be forever in this particular lifetime that we are on this journey together. So very much about not hanging on to relationships past by their use-by date, but also immersing yourself in a relationship to be in that moment with that person for whatever reason, for you or for them. Okay, so move on to my cards. I do shuffle prior. I have not looked at the cards. I don't know what's coming. Today they've given me extra cards. What happens is while I'm shuffling, if one flat out refuses to go back into the deck or flings out dramatically, that is the card that Ngariin is telling me that I need to take, and he's given me extra cards. So let's see how they go. You don't need to watch me shuffling for 20 minutes, so that's why we pre-draw them. Okay, so a current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside of you. A wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded and send it love. All will heal and you will be stronger and wiser for it. You'll be stronger and wiser whether you continue with that relationship or you acknowledge that perhaps that relationship has reached its culmination and you move on. Okay, let's come on down and have a look. So these are my Australian wildflower cards. On the back of them is a flannel flower. Let's see what Ngariin is bringing for us. Okay, the first card, the Sturt's Desert Rose, courage. And yes, it does take courage. It takes courage to understand what a relationship is here for. Courage to continue with a relationship if it needs continuing, because it might be a tumultuous relationship, or it might just be the most beautiful, loving relationship. But also courage to acknowledge that when something has done what it's needed to be here for, and it is time to move on. So the first card, courage. What have we got here? The Waratah, the emblem of New South Wales, survival. So this is very much about, as you progress on your soul's journey in this lifetime, that it is about learning the lessons that are brought to you, even if they are uncomfortable, and uncomfortable are usually the lessons we need to learn. But also look within and send love to whatever it is that you have brought forward in this lifetime that needs to be resolved, needs to be healed, because you will be stronger and wiser for it. So making these steps is about survival of you in this lifetime, and what you will be taking with your spirit when you go into your next lifetime, because it will then be a lesson that you do not have to relearn. And what also happens in this lifetime, if you flat out refuse to take on the lesson that is coming towards you, it will be repeated. So in all honesty, as part of your growth, your spiritual growth and your survival in this lifetime and lifetimes going forward, we need to have the courage to accept what is being sent our way. What have we got here? The Sturt's Desert Pea. So we've got the Sturt's Desert Rose and the Sturt's Desert Pea. The Sturt Desert is a geographical desert within Australia. So we've got overcoming. Have the courage for your survival to overcome whatever this wounding is that you are bringing forward, and take on the lesson and start the process for it to heal. There is a relationship in your life right now that is bringing forward what you need to overcome whatever wounding inside of you from a long time ago, either in this lifetime or a previous lifetime, that you need to heal. So it's very much about courage and survival and overcoming this wound. And we have the lemon myrtle, space. Can actually use the seeds of the lemon myrtle for flavouring. Beautiful, beautiful natural bush tucker for flavouring. What have we got? Space. So it is also about finding the space within and the space without to help you with this overcoming. And perhaps it might be that you need to give yourself space from a current relationship to reflect on what that lesson is being brought to you. The boys will clarify that for me in the next few rows. So under courage, we have laughter. Life is not meant to be taken seriously. Don't forget to laugh. And often you find your courage in laughter because we are presented with situations where you either cry or you laugh at it. Always choose the laugh at it if you can. A good cry in the bottom of the shower does not hurt whatsoever. But by choosing the laughter option, it lightens everything. It puts everything in a more realistic perspective where we can deal with it easier. So have the courage to face whatever this lesson is that you need to learn to heal this wounding, whether it's from a past life or a current life. In a relationship that you are in does not mean it's a personal relationship. It can be somebody that you meet literally at the mechanics, or it can be a friendship that is past its use-by date, or it can be a work colleague that is bringing forward a lesson for you. Have the courage to acknowledge this lesson and accept it with laughter. Don't laugh at it, laugh at the situation that you are being forced to take. Lighten it. Don't have to laugh out loud. Don't laugh at anybody. Laugh within. Laugh within, which will make whatever this lesson is, by having the courage to take it, less fearful. Under survival, maintain your inner childlike spirit. Now, if you think back to your childhood, everything is learning. We're not born into this world. Our spirits do not come into this world, into a body where we know how to walk, we know how to talk, we know how the interaction of the world is, we know hurt, we know love, we know passion, we learn our times tables, everything. We learn how to spell our names, we learn that a stove is hot and a dog is soft. Everything that we come into this world, we need to learn through our childlike spirit. So this is what they're telling me. Thank you, Ngariin. What Ngariin is telling me, that when you are on this lesson path, the current relationship reflecting something that is wounded inside you, that you are being presented with to heal, by having the courage to acknowledge and seeing this with laughter. For the sake of our survival, we need to look at this lesson through a childlike mind, through non-judgment, non-accusation. Don't bring your baggage to the table. Look at this lesson you are being learnt through child's eyes of, okay, that is what I am being presented with. What is it that I need to learn from this? And this is a survival technique for you to move on and overcome. So under overcoming, make a decision. You're being presented with this. You have the courage to acknowledge it. You laugh at the situation, whether it's just a little chuckle within your soul, not even physically out loud, or join in laughter with whomever is bringing you this life lesson. Have the courage to look at it with a childlike spirit and make the decision to learn this lesson. Consciously make the decision to learn from this lesson, acknowledge it, observe it, take the lesson on board, and then let the situation go. And under space, very much be gentle with yourself. So space is this letting go of the lesson itself. Once you have made the decision to take on board what is underlying the lesson that is coming for you in this current relationship, and then give yourself space to unpack it and to contemplate. Don't take physical action straight away. To contemplate how to apply this to your particular soul journey in this lifetime, and so be gentle on yourself. You're not presented with anything that you cannot handle. You just need to not knee-jerk react and spiral down. Okay, under courage and, was that courage? Yes, that was courage. Courage and laughter. We have mystery, secrets and hidden meanings. So have the courage to accept this lesson. Choose, if possible, to laugh even within yourself at the situation that you have found yourself, because it's being presented to you in a way that you are capable of dealing with. The universe will not give you anything that you cannot cope with. And the mystery, the secrets and the hidden meanings. So it's now time for you to unpack the meaning behind what you are being presented with. Unpack it. Unpack it by, you've got your survival through the childlike spirit. That is the beginning of the unpacking of what you have been presented with. Look through it through non-judgmental eyes. Look through it without any preconceived conceptions. Look at it as acknowledgement of something that you're being presented with so that you can learn and grow. Create. Nurture your creative energies. So perhaps part of this process is to draw or to sing or to journal, write it down, the emotions that you are going through. Write down thank you, Ngariin. What has happened? Write down what has occurred and just let it flow. Don't put any blockages. Don't worry about grammar and spelling and punctuation, whether it's through art, whether it's through song, whether it's through writing, whether it's through flower arranging, whether it's whatever, baking, whatever, wherever you find your creativity is best expressed. Take, with your childlike spirit, take this message and let it flow through you. Don't process it on the way. Let it flow through you and see what comes out the other end. Then we have under overcoming and making a decision. So once it has gone through this process of flowing through and coming out, have a look at what has been produced. Because usually, if you allow this free-flowing process to occur, the answer will be very clear. If you let it flow through you without putting any baggage, preconceptions, judgment onto what is coming through, often the answer will appear. So it is about making a decision and overcoming anything that is holding you back, allowing the process through, and then make a decision of what is this lesson is. Stillness, lack of motion, lack of movement. I keep glancing at these cards because I didn't look at them after I shuffled, so that the message that is coming through has absolutely no preconception on it at all from my behalf. This is purely what Ngariin is bringing to you. So this is stillness. Make a decision. Make a decision and then sit in the stillness with that decision. Feel it, taste it, smell it. let it into your heart, let it into your soul, and feel how it resonates with you. And that can only be achieved in stillness. So once the decision is made, stop and sit with that decision for a while. Meditate on it in whatever way is meditative for you. Meditative for me is pulling weeds out of the garden. Doesn't mean you have to sit cross-legged and palms up and say meditation for you is whatever method works for you, where your mind becomes empty and clear as you go through a monotonous process. Could be vacuuming, could be washing your hair, could be driving, preferably not completely on autopilot, as you do need to be aware of your surroundings, but just in a stillness moment where there is nothing else, there's no chatter in your mind. So sit with that decision where there is no chatter in your mind and just feel it in your soul. In the space, this is the space that you need, the stillness in the space. Be gentle with yourself as you go through this. Often the hardest decisions immediately bring about a painful thoughts, depressive thoughts, it can be spiraling. This is very much about giving your space and just being in that stillness and being gentle with yourself, because what often happens is, as humans being humans, we will often knee-jerk straight away when we are presented with something that may not be what we perceive at that time to be pleasant. But in hindsight, once we've gone through this process, be gentle with yourself. Put it aside for a while if you feel that it is triggering you. Put it aside until you can sit with whatever that's coming, that is being presented to you, so that you can be with it without those triggers being activated. And that is when you will really and truly learn what is being presented to you, when you can observe it without any reaction. And I have found, and I know others have found, so have discovered this personally, if you go through this process until it feels like it is sitting there, and it becomes, you don't have to accept it, but it becomes comfortable that you can observe it. Often that lesson is one of the most important lessons we have to learn in this lifetime. So the final card in regards to this, healing. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded and send it love. All will heal and you will be stronger for it. Allow the light to enter your wound. I don't think I've got anything to add to that. What a final card. I have got goosebumps up and down my body. Look within, find the part of you that is wounded, the part of you that needs to learn whatever it is that is being brought forth, and send it love. Sit comfortably in this lesson. Don't trigger, just let it be until such a point as it can sit comfortably in your soul, in your gut, and then send it love. All will heal. And if you take this on, you will be stronger and wiser for it. Thank you, Ngariin. Thank you. Okay, I'll just finish up with a couple of cards from my Work Your Light Oracle. You'll notice that I use the same cards every week because these cards are very in tune with the messages that Ngariin wants to bring forward for us. So we'll just finish with a couple of oracle cards. Ngariin, just to finish this reading, just to finish, a couple of oracle cards, please. Or even one, if all we need is one. Just to finish this reading, please, Ngariin. Welcome all these spirit guides and those that they bring with them. Protect us with your light and guide us with your messages. Creating heaven on earth. It's happening. It is happening, one soul at a time, one lifetime at a time. You may be the person that is teaching the lesson. One spiritual moment at a time. We are learning these lessons and we are also giving these lessons. What can you give to mentor? What do you need to take on board to learn? And as we are doing this, we are creating heaven on earth. It's happening, one soul at a time. Thank you for joining me. Love to you all. Take care. I shall catch you later. Bye-bye.